Let's talk about watercolor paper and all the varieties there are. So many things to choose from. It can get pretty overwhelming. I just want to tell you a little bit more about all the different choices so that you can make an educated purchase. First of all, I want you to understand that there are two different kinds of paper. There's hot press and cold press. Hot press paper is going to have a very sheen, almost smooth surface. This is great if you're going to be doing detail work. This is not the kind that I prefer. I do not use the hot press. What I always purchase is cold press. Cold press paper is what I would prefer when I'm using watercolor paper. I really like that extra texture, but that is also the style that I am painting in, and it is what I have gotten used to. If you prefer hot press, that's also another option. The next choice is going to be whether you're going to be using something like a cotton paper, 100% cotton, or something from these companies. This is 100% cotton, and there's lots of other ones that you can choose from. They are definitely going to be your higher quality. They are more expensive, but they are your better papers. When you're first starting out, you may not be able to purchase the 100% cotton, and that's understandable. I didn't start out with 100% cotton. It's just your standard paper, which is made out of like paper pulp. And the next thing you're going to realize when you're buying watercolor paper is that it can come in a tablet form where you have sheets of paper and it's just sealed at the top here, and you just rip off a page. Nothing wrong with that. You may want to tape that piece of paper down onto your surface so that it doesn't warp. Their option is to buy blocks. And when you buy blocks, you're going to get it here and you're going to see that it is sealed on either 4 sides or 2 sides. Then if you buy a block paper like this one, there's usually a spot where it is not sealed, like along here on the corner, where you can slip a little knife in and separate it this way. I prefer to use the block paper. You can open it right here. There's a slit right in here, and that's where I'm going to use my knife to separate it. I do prefer using block paper because then it doesn't move around. The paper doesn't warp, and I can move this paper, this whole tablet around. I paint right here. I do not remove one until it is completely dry. Now that we've talked about all the different styles of paper, what I really want to show you is the watercolor tablets, the pads. These are spiral bound and they come with a whole bunch of pages in here. This will have this is not cotton, so this is very inexpensive paper, and it actually comes in a set of 3. You get a whole bunch of different tablets. This is what I use for practice. When I was first starting to watercolor, I used these kinds of tablets over and over and over again. I would fill every single page front and back with all of my practice. I love this because on this side you have more of the cold press, which has the little ridges, the little texture, and on the back side it was more like a hot press where it was very, very smooth. Mainly I would use this kind of a tablet for my brush stroke practice so that I could get to understand how water and paint and the brushes worked, and I would practice all the different brushes to see how I could make things on these. So I find this kind of a tablet to be really, really helpful. You can find this in my TikTok shop. I do have that linked so that you can find that to purchase if you need a set of 3 of these to get started. So there you go, folks. Practice on all different kinds. Choose 1 or 2 that you really want to work with. Get yourself a set of watercolor pad spiral bound like this, where you can just use this for making your practice strokes. This is a great option for starting. Hope you found this helpful. If you have more questions about paper, drop them in the comments so that I can help address them.